Business Solutions.
Welcome to this week's episode of Business Solutions, where we provide solutions on formed lifestyles. My name is Kingsley Oldwoko, and welcome back. It's been a while. Should I say Happy Easter? That is coming from me. And today we are joined by the CEO and founder of People Brands. This is Mr. Monene Githira, 6 years into the business of transforming brands into what they're supposed to be. Talk about profitability, talk about visibility, name it all. This in the wake of the digital advent. So I will let him introduce himself. He'll be letting us know why people and why this kind of trade. Karibu sana sir. Let me know who you are and what you do.
Asante sana sir. Thank you so much, Kingsley. Really honored to be here, just to have this amazing conversation. My name is Monene Githira. I'm a lover of Jesus Christ. I serve him with all my heart. And I'm a husband. I'm a father. First-time dad. Then what else? I'm a brother. I'm a son. I love rhinos. I'm a big fan of Arsenal. Story for another day. And yes, I am the founder and CEO of this company called People Brands.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's why we are here today. I'm telling you what happened at the Emirates when PSG visited you. We'll talk about that later on, but let me know your journey into brands and transforming them in what you do on a daily basis.
Great. So I'd say my journey started subconsciously when I was very young. I'd say my dad used to, when I was growing up, my dad used to come home na gazeti kila jioni, and he really used to encourage me to go through the newspaper, just read it, to improve my reading, my writing and all that. But as I was going through the newspapers, mm-hmm. I realized there are things called advertisement, and then I used to ask my dad, what are these? And then he used to go ahead and explain. Mm-hmm. So I think subconsciously that stuck with me. And then when I got to college, I had to major in advertising and media science. And that's how my journey started. But now, when it comes to now the entrepreneurship bit, I like to say I love consuming data. And in 2019, I came across a report by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. And in this report, KNBS wanted to find out of the over 7 million MSMEs in Kenya, why are so many here being 85% and above, failing, in their second, third, or fourth year. And so they did this report. They came up with 10 reasons. And to my surprise, at number 3, one of the reasons that MSMEs were closing down here in Kenya was marketing constraints. And marketing constraints here is the data. MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, don't have the data to keep their businesses going. They don't have the budgets to keep their marketing consistent. And most importantly, they don't have the knowledge of what they should be doing as businesses to grow their brands. Mm-hmm. So that for me was, in the world they call it a light bulb moment, but in our kingdom we call it revelation. For me, that was a revelation, a big one. And so I asked myself, how can I go after this very big gap? Mm-hmm. And just to give you the actual numbers, KNBS had stated that 18% of the businesses that close down are the ones that do so because of marketing constraints. Mm-hmm. So nilifanya hiyo hesabu, nikajiambia 7.2 million, if you ukitoa 85%, mm-hmm. alafu kwa hiyo 85% ukitoa 18%, that's the actual customers I can serve, mm-hmm. the market. So what I did, nilijifungia siku kama 4 kwa nyumba, And then I started developing what is now called as the brand transformation curriculum. So I started doing walk-ins to businesses, introducing myself, telling them I have knowledge that can help them to improve their business in terms of marketing. And then I did that for a while, and then God opened doors to USIU, the Incubation Center, African Management Institute, Synapis, people who took me in to be training, to be training their entrepreneurs. So that is how actually the journey started.
Yeah, and I think the gap that you found in the market was really informed by this data.
Yes.
And what are some of the issues that you, of course, we've talked about budgeting, that were some of the constraints that were having businesses not putting up a good or a proper branding or a marketing team. Then what are some of the constraints, or rather what are some of the gaps that you realize in businesses that were supposed now to meet so that they're able to be brand visible?
I'd say the biggest one, and this is a shift that we are really trying to encourage. The biggest constraint that we have seen so far and through the years is the fact that so many MSMEs take branding and marketing as an expense, which is not. Because if you need to change that mindset into, number one, understanding that the brand is an asset, and every asset you have to invest in. So if the brand is the asset, then the branding becomes the investment. So when that mindset shift happens, then you find that all other constraints start to eliminate themselves, because you find if you take marketing and branding as an expense, then you have a certain attitude towards it. It means that it can hold off at some point. It doesn't need much attention. You can cut the budgets at any given time, and so on and so forth. But when you understand that a brand is an asset, and this asset needs an investment, which is branding, then now your attitude towards that changes. Now you'll be more intentional with having a good budget towards that. You'll be more intentional in training and upskilling in that particular department.
And I hear you're talking very much about training and upskilling. I'll wish to know the trick that you had for you to sign up with Synapis and even these other institutions that you've mentioned about, where you began with your first curriculum. But before then define a purposeful and a brand with power that it can influence a buyer. Just for me to walk in a particular SME and to purchase something, it is out of the brand. Then describe that for me.
Great. So a purposeful and a powerful brand, number one, has a lot of value, and this value also now on the other side of the customer is experienced as a solution. And then now after that, a powerful brand, a purposeful brand has to be impactful. How are you changing the lives of people? So for example, there are few aspects of impact. Number one is life-changing. Is your brand a life-changing brand? Is it a functional brand? For example, me and you tumeva some nice headphones. This is a functional brand that we have on. And then there's the emotional aspect, and then there's the impact. So you need to ask yourself, where am I in these four categories? Am I changing the lives of people through my products and services? Are my products and services functional enough for people to actually walk in and actually buy? And so that is the bit of a brand being purposeful. Then for it to be powerful, you need to be visible. You need to be consistent. You need to be credible. especially the credibility part in the age that we are in. You need to be super credible as a brand. So that mix gives you a powerful and a purposeful brand.
Yeah, and you've talked about being visible.
Yes.
And I know when I get to hear about a brand is the billboards all over. You know, there's that angle of marketing, or rather being out there. And because often enough, I remember when we were beginning Pearl Radio, we will approach somebody in the church and they will ask, what do you listen? Do you listen to Pearl Radio? Like, what's that radio? I've not heard about it. But then they will advise that we do so much of brand visibility for you to be seen. I'll wish to understand how you're able to help companies gain clarity in their brand themselves first, even before they put it out.
Great. So that is what we call brand development. And brand development, number one, very importantly, is to understand the value that you're taking to the market. That's the foundation. Understand the value that you're taking to the market. So what is it that your consumer will really, really want from you as a brand? And then number two, you need to understand now those needs that you're coming to meet. Who are the people actually, and then what culture do you really want to drive as a brand? And then now when you take all those fundamentals, you are able now to start creating an identity, visuals, logos, taglines, the brand name itself. And this is where we see so many brands going wrong. Even the simplest thing, we say that a brand name should be easy on the tongue, easy on the brain. It should be something relatable to what you're doing. If it's a tagline, it should be relating to the value that you offer or the vision of where your company is headed. So this is how we help brands to come up with their brand identity. So the visuals, the taglines, the messaging, the positioning, and so on.
Yeah, cute. To maybe give us a picture of a success story of a brand that you've seen grow from its infant to where it is right now.
Great. We have so many. I think the first one I can mention should be Women in Business Kenya. We started with them from zero, and then we from the branding and the marketing that we did, we were able to give them a membership of over 300,000 Kenyan women in business. So we were partnering with them. We went from being clients of us to us being partners. That's how big that was. And so we really thank God for that. We have another brand called Discovery Chinese. They are one of the biggest Chinese language school here in Kenya. Again, from them they were at a particular place, but over the last 2 years we have really helped to shape and position that particular brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful women in business, from being a client to being a partner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. While you're talking about brand development, I pictured even the easiness of just saying people brands.
Yeah.
And it rang in my mind that really you can't preach what you don't espouse.
Yeah.
Talk to me then about brand promotion, these strategies that you're using to raise up a brand, just like Women in Business. What are the strategies that you did? Is it website? Is it even how people walk into the office? All that is a brand. Talk to me about that.
Great. So brand promotion, the essence of it is how visible you are, how engaging you are, how available you are to your customers, and then finally how optimized you are for you to get business results. That is sales or partnerships, etc. So we start with, for brand promotion, you have to start with your platforms. So what platforms are you going to use? You start with your online platforms, that is your website. Is it well developed? is it a modern website? The mistake we see a lot is that, yes, you have a website, but it's not modern. Is it well optimized for it to give you business? Then from there we go to social media. We normally advise brands to be in at least 4 social media channels.
Wow.
Because each channel plays a unique role online. And if you're only on one, you're missing out on the potential audiences who are on the other platforms. Then from there we go to digital platforms. We have, for example, let's say, for example, Pearl has a very strong digital online presence. You can come here and tell them, can you be posting for me once a week? Then we agree on the rate. So you find all those credible and big digital platforms. And then finally, where clients really love brand promotion online is things to do with digital ads. Because digital ads, they reach a broader and more targeted audience that bring you sales. And these days, you can integrate your WhatsApp business number with your social media channel, so that now when you run ads, inquiries are coming directly to you, and you're able to connect with them very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is online. When you go to offline, you have your TV, you have your radio. Kuja Pearl radio, run your ads. They will help you to reach a more targeted, wider audience. Do your newspaper. You can find relevant magazines where, let's say, if you want to target the banking sector, you can look for a magazine that publishes banking content and place your ad there.
Okay.
Yes, and so on.
But even as we take a break, that is really brilliant. I'll wish to also get to hear about what sets you apart as a brand compared to others, because I understand there's several marketing agencies coming up.
Yeah.
And also, what do you advise setting up as a company, setting up your personal in-house, or rather your in-house social media team, or to outsource? So will you like to be outsourced, or will you like to set up? How would you advise? That we shall be answering as we take a break here on Business Solutions, where we provide solutions on formed lifestyles. Welcome back to this week's episode of Business Solutions. We are joined by Mr. Githira Munene, the founder and CEO of People Brands. We were just talking about what sets you apart from other marketing agencies and brands to scale up the operations of a business brand-wise.
Great. I really love that question. At People Brands, one of the key things that sets us apart is how we take businesses through the brand journey. So earlier on I mentioned that People Brands created what is now popularly known as the brand transformation curriculum. And so that is what we use to take businesses through, right from when they have an idea, how do you structure your brand development, what should you do at the brand promotion stage, how should you handle your customers, and so on. So that particular brand journey is what really sets us apart. By the time you're starting, you have full understanding of what your brand is about and what you should be taking out there and how you should be positioning it.
Okay.
And apart from that, we are also very fast. For us, speed is a currency. We're also very creative and we have very good rates.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is brilliant. And I think when you began, I got intrigued. Other than just offering services to these businesses, you also train. And I think that is a very essential tool that you offer to businesses, so that while you're away, the business, your imprints can still be they can still feel your imprints as you continue. Maybe take us through the development, the curriculum that you're having in training businesses about this kind of work.
Great. So At People Brands, we have the brand development curriculum. We have the brand promotion curriculum. We have the social media campaigns curriculum. We have the customer conversions curriculum. And then can't remember the other one. But now we have around 6 curriculums that we train businesses on. And they are very resourceful. And like you said, we come in, we leave an imprint of what this business should be doing at particular stages, at particular periods. Yes.
Okay, and that is brilliant. I think I love hearing about success stories, because this is one of the drivers. Feedback is one of the drivers that attract brands to the other. Maybe one of the trainings that you've done that has been very impactful. You mentioned about a couple of brands that you've worked with earlier on. What are some of the success stories apart from women in business? Then these others, what have you seen?
We've trained businesses like Think Real Estate. We've trained businesses like Phone Place Kenya. And so what we do, some people can call us for a one-time training, like a half day. Other businesses can call us for a series of trainings. They tell us, Monene, we'd like you to be coming here every Friday for the next 2 months. So that now you can tackle the topics slowly and in a more personalized way. So, and every time we do our trainings, we have seen a significant shift in how businesses approach their brand, in terms of, now they understand how what their value is. Now they understand the kind of visibility they should be having, the kind of engagement they should be pushing. Now they understand how to handle their customers. Now they understand the kind of customer experiences they need to be offering at different times of different periods. Yes,
that is really brilliant to hear. I think when you learn this, the key pointers, you're able to maneuver through this business. And I'm telling you, there's the advent of AI. This is one of the trends that is coming up in brands. Also from the shift of traditional media to digital media now. I get to understand, while a business approaches you with a particular budget, you will know where to place it because of the kind of budget. Then maybe if we could just combine these two, how does the advent of technology, mentioning AI, and even the budget help you maneuver marketing and branding in businesses?
Great. Yes, AI has come to amplify marketing efforts, just as it's amplifying very many other aspects of the market. So for marketing, you find that it has really improved the way people create ideas, the way people target their customers online, the way people create their visuals for their creativity. So it has really come in a big way to ease the burden of the workload, because it's faster. So you find, because of that, now agencies are finding it easier to offer better rates to customers. And then you're able to be more impactful to businesses. Yes,
I hear you. I mean, when you're talking, I could see the problems businesses have in terms of their branding. Because you have a lot of solutions that you're offering at People Brands. Where can we find you?
You can find us online across all platforms, from Google Business Profile to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, website. Just type in People Brands, PIPO Brands, and then you'll see us. We are very visible.
You're very visible.
Yes.
Most importantly, you're very impactful.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Monene, for your valuable time to be here with us on Business Solutions. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That has been this week's episode of Business Solutions, where we provide solutions on formed lifestyles.
Catch Kingsley Oluoko every Monday 10 a.m. and the rerun on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. for solutions provided by businesses on Formed Lifestyles on 96.9 FM, Pearl Radio.